Good evening, everyone. It's about 10:20 p.m. In Sydney on a Tuesday night. This is about prime time for both for mastertan and myself to play. So welcome to another episode of Combo Cage. Tonight the opponent I'll be up against is mastertan. We're going to play 1 hour of 3-minute Crazyhouse matches. And yeah, I'll be offering the commentary that I can. Yeah, I'm expecting it to be a really good match. I think mastertan's been in really good form recently. So here we go. Hope you enjoy the stream. Okay, I've got the white pieces. So he started with knight c6, which he's been playing a lot of recently, and it's quite a versatile move to begin with. He's got a lot of options. Mastertan as a player, he knows quite a few opening tricks. Throws at the old novelty. He's a little bit creative as well, so he doesn't stand still in his opening. So that's really good, I think. So okay, we've got a position of supported e4 quite well. This position we've played a few times. But e5 I'm probably a little bit less familiar with. So I'm going to have a bit of a think here. Now I'm not really, I'm considering bishop e3 as a natural development there, but you've got to be wary of bishop g4, which might not be favourable. So other options are, potentially d5. You've got to be wary of being attacked as well. So I'm going to go with d5. He's obviously expected that move. I'm going to check the queen. So what I'm thinking here is if he takes, knight take, and c6 is open, but this knight is currently covering it, so I'm looking at a way to get bishop at c6 in. So I'm going to hit this knight first. Yeah, here I'm nearly expecting the sack of the knight takes c2, maybe queen takes castle. So a question in my mind is if he plays knight takes c2, if I actually want to capture directly, or play a check with something like bishop at a4 or bishop at c6. So he has taken that knight on c2, that pawn on c2. I'm actually going to play the bishop. I think the queen is valuable here defending this pawn, because you can play pawn at b4 later, and if the queen's on c2, he's taking this pawn, which is quite valuable. So now he's looking to counter-attack on the king's side. So I figure here, there's something with knight at c6 or knight f5. I'm quite keen to make some inroads on this king quickly if I can. In fact, there's an even sneaky move. Maybe knight takes h5 has some nice tactics that go with it. I'm going to bring this in here just to block this rook from defending the knight. And the queen is now attacking it. He's decided not to capture it. We'll capture it a bit later potentially. But now this is really a little bit dangerous for black. Knight at h6 is a threat, pawn f7 a threat. I think he has to take this. Pawn f7, yeah, it's not clear for me though. rather than play pawn f7 and put his king into a safe position, I'm going to play pawn e6. This threatens queen f7, king h8, knight at g6. He's played a defensive move against that. So here, I'm going to play queen f7. I'm going to make a maneuver where I put this pawn on first, and my plan is actually to back the queen off somewhere, and then threaten knight at f7. And then there might also be some pawn at h7 type threats. Queen f5 may even be a better square. But I really do need to keep the initiative up and the pressure of king. Yeah, I'm going to take this one. We've got rook at h8. There's a check there. This is for defending. Now I really just got to worry about the clock. Got his king in the open, and we'll grab that queen. Now it's just about hitting some light squares. Yeah, it's very tough for him to defend from here. Alright, happy to take that first game. So, a few comments. IRM Juggle 28 says, "This is awesome. Glad to see you guys playing on stream." Okay. e4, e5. We'll go down potentially standard one. I'm going to play bishop c5. It's a bit of a different move order I've been playing recently. And get a bit of a trick here with this fork if they capture on e5. Not necessarily anything special. I mean, white can just avoid taking e5 altogether and you get a fairly standard position. I've done this sack on f2 only temporarily because it forks here. I'm going to cover the piece. So just making sure I hit e4 so if my queen gets hit I can make a catch of that. Yeah, bishop takes c7 may look like nothing, but I think it's too dangerous. Knight at g4 looks really dangerous. You may be able to live with king e1. At the worst I can always just castle and I'll be fine. But I'll stick the knight in first. And then now I'll move the castle. So yeah, knight at d6 and queen at d8 with the two threats. So this is the only way to safety. So now pawn at f3, I'm thinking queen takes c2, and that also attacks the bishop, so it preserves some material. He might have two knights, but he won't have enough to mate me. He'll be just a pawn short. Knight at h6, knight at f6, but he won't have enough material to check me with a pawn on g7. So yeah, I think black's a little better here just because of king safety. So I'm going to continue capturing this pawn. Maybe it's a little bit loose actually. So here if rook e8, queen at d8 is very dangerous because it's very difficult to stop mate then because you can sack the queen if you defend the rook and play rook at f8 mate. So I think I actually need to come back here to defend the rook. It opens up knight at c2, but yeah, it's actually not ideal. Maybe queen takes c2 is a little bit loose. So he's played a tricky looking move here. I'm just not sure if it's, I'm not sure who it's favourable to yet. So if I take, he's going to recapture, and then f2 is open. And we can run to d1. And then his bishop covers b4, so I don't really have pawn at c2, b4. I do have knight at e1. The alternative is pawn at f2 first. Maybe that's stronger, because he can't capture with the bishop. It takes here, king d1, pawn at c2. So I probably have to play king e2 first. Yeah, I think pawn at f2 is definitely a lot stronger. So I'm expecting king e2 here. Oh, as it played it. Yeah, I think this is still very dangerous. So if it takes queen at d1, he actually runs out to safety on d3. So his knight at g1 is a possibility. Very interesting position. So I'm going to go pawn at d3. Now I'm running very short on the clock here. So the idea is king e2, now I take the queen, and queen at d1, and queen at d3 would mate. So he might have to run up. But it's too dangerous, because now I get the queen with check. So this is all over. Yeah, really sharp game there. Yeah, White had to dodge a lot of bullets to get out of that. I was fortunate enough to find a way through. Okay, so we've got an opening here. He's played a early e5. He kind of gives up a bit of space. And I feel like White should be a bit better here, but he seems to be able to block the positions and get a decent position out of these. I need to come up with something original to crack it. Try an active move. I normally don't play this. Quite often Black plays d5 and is able to just develop slowly. Just seeing if I can mix it up. So yeah, 3 options to recapture him. Pawn at e6 is usually coming. I think I like taking with the bishop here. Now if he takes either of these, which he hasn't done very quickly, yeah, and I think bishop, there'd be some kind of tactics on bishop f7 or bishop c6. I should probably talk a bit less here and think of what to play. So I like this move, it's a good move. So I'm going to play white d4 actually, because I'm seeing pawn at e6 here as an opportunity. He may even just be able to take it a few times and claim that he's safe, because I don't have enough material to get him quickly. Alright, so a comment from the channel. It's Iron Juggle 38. One aspect of the Crazyhouse community that I particularly appreciate is the sportsmanship. Lots of the highest rated chess players play easy opponents to maintain a high rating or react value to losing. I move here. Okay. Sorry, I'll come back to that comment in a moment. Should get some ground. Okay, so he's opted to give up the queen for relative safety here. I think I need to make an impression on this square, and I am going to be short of pieces. Meanwhile, I also need to look at things like knight at f3. So this isn't actually so comfortable for white. It's not the easiest position to make progress in. But I might go a bit quiet on commentary here, which I feel is like quite a tough position to finish at. I think he should just defend this knight. I'll probably castle just to get myself out of the way. This knight at f3 type business. Yeah, I'm going to do that right now. So I'm happy to trade a pawn and put it on here. I wonder if he's going to dodge that. What's happening now? So put a bit of pressure here. Got another 30 seconds to go. Really got to respect the clock a bit. So he's defended nicely with this thing. Oh, I've got to watch out for bishop c2. I was going to attack with the queen, but I think that's a mistake. So yeah, I'm just wary of the clock now. This is very, very low on time. I'll try to come in through e3 instead to avoid this discovery. You can't really play bishop at h6. I can take it because I've got queen at g7. So yeah, I'm picturing takes. Whoops, that's not going to happen. So I'm dropping the queen back here. It's really the clock I have to watch, man. Not anything else. Mating opportunities if I can survive. Check. Got to keep hitting them. Alright, low on the clock, low on the clock. Whoa. Okay, I've got mate. Gosh, I left that late. That was really tight. We've got a couple of seconds left. Okay, so I'll go to reading the comments. So I'll just continue from before. So in short, they don't play online chess for the love of chess. He plays bishop c5 on here. ZH seems different. All the top players seem to play each other, even though they could win a ridiculous percentage of their games if they played easy opponents. This is true of Upper Wesson in particular. It's impressive for someone who's reached 3,000 bullet to be able to deal with losing 20 games in a row to you. Good players often forget how to lose, but the top ZH players stay humble, which I admire. So thanks. So this series is a reminder of that. Well, that's a really nice comment. Sorry I've taken all the time to read it out, but I think it was worthwhile. Okay, knight g4 is being played here to defend this. Now, there's a number of options here. You could probably hit with h5. You could hit with d5. The counter options are d5, h5, or even something like knight f6, which generally doesn't look as attractive. So yeah, lots of interesting options here. Now, if you push, he's going to play knight e3. Really, any option you can play knight e3. d4 is also in the mix. Yeah, I like d5 just because bishop g4 also hits the queen. Pawn at g3, queen hg4. So yeah, I better get a move on. I'm only 4 moves in and I've already used nearly half my time. So you can see how quickly we can develop an unknown position in Crazyhouse. And, you know, I consider mastertan as one of the strongest contenders at the moment. He's been playing very well in the tournaments. He's been playing very consistently. So. This isn't really an issue because I'm not d7. I'm going to hit here, so put some pressure on. So the issue here is my queen is now actually pinned, which isn't ideal. Play that here. Pawn at g3 is now not a bad option. Yeah, I'm going to be ambitious and part with this queen. It's not necessarily best. And I think I'll get some decent mobility. So what I just need to ensure is I don't let him in on these dark squares. Pawn f6, limit his penetration opportunities. And of course, not lose material. So the bishop hanging there. Bring this guy back. I'm looking at hitting with bishop e6. So 31 seconds on the clock. There's not managed time well, spending half my time talking and getting a move for. There's also a bishop here. Got to make a move. 20 seconds left. I might be thinking pawn g7, which I guess I probably can take it. Bishop takes, knight f6, king d8, and the rook covers e8, the knight covers d7. So I'm happy to get this knight out and then castle queenside. Pawn at g7, that is. Pawn at a6 is an alternative hiding. So this bishop's hanging now. Yeah, I should really stop talking and just play with my last 18 seconds. It's a really interesting position. I'll capture it. I'm expecting queen at g7, possibly. In which case I'll just castle, give up that knight. Time's getting tight now. I know. defending here. Oh, time. Right, I've cleaned up most of these pieces. Oh dear. Yeah, something funny happened with the board at the end. Happy to take that one. There was a sharp finish in there. Okay, I'll mix it up with d4. So heading towards a balanced position. So yeah, there's lots of different move orders here. They're largely the same. We're just heading for a balanced position to begin with. I'm going to support this push at some stage. I'm going to take this. Now, if he takes that way, I'm picking this pawn off. I'm going to capture this first, so f4 is not hanging. And now I've got to try to prove that my pawn is worth something. So I'm giving up a little bit of initiative here. But if I can keep him out of this box here, that would be nice. So yeah, I'm looking at bishop at g5 if that's an option. I don't really like bishop takes h3. So he's using his pieces quite well here. I think I'll play bishop takes f5. If recaptures with a pawn, then at least there's some pressure off here. So I'll be greedy and grab this pawn. Because now at least f3 has one less attacker. This pawn's now blocking it. And the idea here is if black can't make ground quickly, then white will have a residual advantage. That's why he's been quite aggressive, so he might have some kind of pressure just here. Pawn at f7 really isn't anything. I could take this. Alternatively, you could just leave it. So I think the key here actually is this bishop. And rather than try to counter-attack, I'm going to try to look at getting some king safety. Yeah, I'll have a bit of a loose king. But, I'll see if I can hold out and make use of the additional material. And I think that's a queen that should be blocked or attacked. We have a good way to attack it. So I'm going to defend against it. So yeah, this knight's actually a bit of a friend that I want to keep there if I can, because it makes it difficult for black to attack. But yeah, he only needs one move to remove it, and then all the threats are on again. So I've done just that. I'm going to give my white squares a little bit more safety. At the right time, queen e6 might be helpful. So let's play queen e6 here. My idea is I expect him to play into the corner, but I'll replace the queen with a bishop. And then that'll help me to defend g2 without losing the queen. Because the threat here is knight e2, pawn at g2. Now, bishop at d5 also threatens queen g8, knight f7, but it's also defending here. It's a multi-purpose move. If he captures, I'm going to have to recapture his queen. But yeah, it really is pawn at g2, bishop takes g2, f takes g2, bishop takes g2. That's the key. Alright, and now it's more about looking at the clock. So, I'm out of dodge temporarily. As soon as that knight moves, I'm in trouble again. Bishop at f3, I'm going to play knight at f7. Capture that. It's threading rook f8, rook at g8, knight f7, mate. So pretty sharp here, both sides have to be careful, but I should probably stop talking and just play, really. So he's opted for a safe option, bishop at g8. Yeah, I'm running real short on time. Okay, let's see if we have anything here. It's not going to be easy. Well, this is something. I'm going to finish. Wow, pulling them all out at the last minute tonight. Yeah, very happy to take that win. Just really sharp finishes at the end. Okay, so he's declined 95 on this occasion. So absolutely symmetrical position, fairly stock standard. One of the differences with this move order is black can play c6 instead of knight c6, and that's just a slight difference which avoids knight d5. Nothing special, but just a little bit of a different way of playing. So I've left knight at c7 open. It's just a matter of bishop at b6 is useful. Let's try to make it useful. I'm going to sack this bishop. Now if the rook backs off, I've got bishop at b6 picking up the knight. So I expect to play bishop at e3 to cover the diagonal. And also the rook, but also the diagonal. Or I could just ignore it and capture. Okay, so now, yeah, what's got a slight material advantage here if I don't justify my sacrifice, then I'm behind. So let's put the bishop on. Completely. So I've got this resource here, sorry, bishop takes h3, which then puts pressure on g2. Otherwise, without that, probably just trailing in pieces a bit, you have to go for this knight at a8. So yeah, so black has some decent activity now. I'm down a piece for a pawn, but my king is considerably safer than white's. So Iron Juggle 28 says, "Oh blimey, it is nerve-wracking watching you play. You always seem to get into time trouble and then pull it out at the last minute. Adds to the entertainment value and is impressive for sure." On Bundy 1681 says, "LOL, sheesh. I would be terrified to play Bughouse against you." Yeah, I haven't played Bughouse in quite a while. I used to play more often as Tannerman or Fix. That's been for many years. I've played quite actively. Yeah, since Lee Chess introduced Crazyhouse, I've been playing a lot more here. I mean, it's just a fantastic website. I'm keen to support it. Alright, look at G3. So threatening to take this is defending G2. I'd love to have a bishop to put here, but that's not going to work out just yet. I think the right move is something like pawn at G4. Takes. I just have to be wary of the trades. If I trade queens and I don't have check, I could have some troubles back here. So I should really open up the game on my terms. I think I'm going to go for bishop G2 actually. Let's go pawn at H3 and pawn G2. And, while he doesn't have a knight, it's not easy to get in on my king side. Anything like pawn at G6 is just not going to be as dangerous as a capture here. So yeah, I'll be happy to take that. If he just defends, I'll capture and play bishop at F2 and take this rook. And then I'll be satisfied I have enough initiative and material to keep going. So he's in a tough spot here. So that's a nice move, D4. I'm just gonna ignore it for a second and capture here. You can't take it with the knight. I like having this pressure on the diagonal. Block that up. I also want to have another pawn for G2 because it's preferable to have a threat. I'm taking me the rook because he had the bishop here. Now is there some sneaky trying to mate? Start with bishop at B5 and restrict. I think that queen takes F3 looks tempting. That's F3, rook F3, knight here, king here, knight F3, queen takes. Yeah, that'll mate. I'll have a bishop at C1 and rook at E1. A little bit of finesse at the end there. Look, there's probably a number of ways to win from that position. It's really dominating on the black king. Well, we go with D4 again. Okay, some more comments. Iron Juggle tweets a few Bughouse related questions when you get the chance. What are the main differences in terms of gameplay between Crazyhouse and Bughouse? To what extent does being good at one being equally good at the other? Well, yeah, I mean, obviously they both allow you to put pieces on the board, so there's got to be some similarities there. The main difference, though, is I would say in Bughouse you don't have to make a mistake to lose. That's the main difference. You can your partner's board can completely crumble, and you can have played very well against a strong player, and it may actually count for nothing. Yeah, I'd say here it's more like chess, where because it's all enclosed, the losing player is the one that made more mistakes, really, and you can actually say that. That's probably one difference. The other difference is, I think, in Bughouse you have to structure your pieces in a way that they're more flexible to handle incoming pieces that are unknown. Um, you never leave your king too open because the risk is just too high. Whereas in Crazyhouse, you can have situations where you're actually, your opponent can be just short of one pawn, and you're okay. There are probably some key differences, but otherwise, being able to find mate quickly, the kind of tactics that are involved, they're still quite similar. I'd nearly put, Crazy House probably a little bit more similar to Bug House, just because of the placing of pieces and no end game and the tactics are so similar. Yeah, even though Crazy House is somewhere between the two, but it's one board, it still has the same ability. The other important thing is the dependency of time in Bug House. It's actually a commodity you use to trade pieces for. Um, Whereas time is a commodity to potentially think of better moves in Crazy House. You definitely suffer in Bug House if you don't play fast. Pretty much, you need to play fast and good in Bug House. All right, I've been yapping a lot of nights and commenting on the position. I was aiming for something at knight at f6, but it's actually a bit of a fading opportunity. So I'm looking at things like knight at g3, bishop e7. Not really threatening options. I'm just losing buckets of time at the moment. I'm gonna grab this. I'll just have to start moving. So yeah, I'm actually just looking to pick this pawn off, but he's not letting me do that. And now I'm just way down on time again. Not managing time. I seem to do a pretty bad job of it while streaming. I just talk too much sometimes. All right, let's start going. Nothing concrete here at all. I'm going to see what the board will provide me. I'm just trying to prevent the king from getting away, but it's still nothing special. Just in time travel, that's all. The position's not looking much better. I'm trying to sneak something in here. A bit cheeky. If I can get the knight in, I might be able to attack there. Gotta check if I miss an opportunity to play a mate somewhere. I think that's a wise move. You can just capture him, get himself out of dodge. He's pretty safe now. I think I'm going to be able to pull this one off. So he should really go and attack my king here. Something like that. Oh yeah, you still got to be careful. The time's going to be too much. He should just knock me over with a flag here, I think. Instead he's going to do the honourable thing and outplay me. Oh dear. Oh, you shouldn't have lost that. Yeah, that's just about winning the unwinnable game right there. Kind of feel dirty about it. Yeah, I don't know why he just didn't flag me, in fact. A little bit too honourable from him. I don't think he expected that the pieces would come at his king that fast. Alright, at the same time, I should also not let my clock get that low. So, yeah, we've got a... I'm in a bit of unfamiliar territory here, so this is a new position to me. I'm with knight f5. I don't mind that. So I'm going to back off here, and it really is just about keeping an eye on this f5 square. Either a pawn or bishop here. Just because the move knight h4, if I can keep his knight there, it makes the knight look a bit silly. If he gets into f5, it justifies the move. Okay. Oh, yeah, let's try to storm each other. So, a bit of a chess game here. There aren't many trades off just yet. I'm going to just try to come here. It's a little bit harder for him to do the same because he's knight and bishop in the way. So I'm feeling like I'm well ahead on the queen side relative to where he is. But yeah. You can even ignore this, I think. Just going to keep pushing here. At least make a weakness on b2. It's nowhere near mate. It's just about getting a weakness and seeing if you can establish some momentum. I'm actually going to ignore this. I don't mind if he captures because I'm going to capture back. And then I'll be threatening the knight and he won't have a pawn in here to put on g5. Okay. Now, I've got to be careful if there's tricks with knight at h6 and things opening up. I don't think I need to be too concerned. I think I need to give him a bit of concern by hitting his queen, because that would mate him here. And if he doesn't take it, then g5 might fall. So already here, my strategy is kind of, yeah, let's defend b2, and then for the rest of the game, keep a safe king, and try to pick off one of his rooks. Alright, now, I could just play queen takes f6, which is relatively safe. This is possible. Knight h6 isn't going to mate because I've got bishop h6. But he's got rook g7. I can back in the corner. He might take h7 and then it just looks a bit risky with what follows with pawn at g6. It's probably better just not to risk it and capture. He could play knight at d7, in which case I'd capture the knight here. And so here I've got to be careful. There's tricks with rook g7 takes f6, king h6. So yeah, let's calculate this. Queen takes, rook g7, king g7, f6. Now if I run up, any tricks with queen f4, sack, bishop at g7. I think I've got too much space to run with the king. I'm going to capture it. Let's just play at f6 instead. So this can't be captured because of knight at e7. So the best thing to do here is probably remove the thorn in my side by blocking the rook. Here I go, I've ignored my clock again. Alright, shut up and play. The rook's going to be useful if I can get it. Oh, I might have just blown it here. He's got a neat trick, he's got a discovered check. I have to play bishop g6 to defend the f6 square, otherwise I'm toasted. I thought I was mated actually, but this might just save me. Critical move, any other move's mated. But now he's got to worry about his king. So we'll see if I'm actually worse off. This bishop's nicely covering here. The queen h7. I have to come this way. Yeah, he's mated me. No, he hasn't. Oh gosh, even I thought I was mated, but no, that's not going to be me. I've got to run up. Okay, I got touchdown. Oh dear, the queen's just hanging. That's awful. Yeah, I should have made it in properly there. But how close can these finishes get? That was ridiculous. I thought I was mated about 3 or 4 times there and somehow found resources that I didn't expect. That was probably an interesting one for the crowd. Okay, I'm going to play an early sack. Mix things up. Okay, he's opted to play for a safe king. So from here, yeah, I don't mind black's position actually. I mean, black's only really given up a pawn. And has got probably a bit better development. King safety's good. Rook's aiming out here. So continuing from here, you got pawn at f7. I don't think it's that fruitful. I'll play d4. I think white needs to catch up with some development. If you go swapping pieces, I think black will just be well ahead on development, and then white might be a pawn up, but you won't be able to put the pieces on the board fast enough to realise any sort of advantage from there. So if knight e4 now, I might consider pawn at f7. There's a bit of a difference because with the knight here, it just covers the king a little bit better. That's still a fine move, and I might go for pawn at h6. So I feel like I already got a little bit of a weakness on f7, which will balance that with dark's weakness. Now here's an interesting position. He's just kind of allowed this here because white really doesn't have many pieces. It's like, well, what are you going to do with that pawn on h6? You can't really do much. And now it's interesting to see here black can show if white's just overextended a little bit. So yeah, white is a pawn up, but black's got a few pieces in there and can knock white around. Maybe alternative there was actually knight g6, pawn at g7, and being ambitious after rook f7, knight at g5. I've gone for a way that just conserves material. So I think he's trying to get bishop at g5, because he's trying to remove this thorn in his side. So the question is if you really try to stop it, or just ignore it. So I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to believe that a bishop here would be quite nice to hit black with. So if he plays here, I'm going to take it. Trade, bishop here. I'm expecting he might block with bishop e6, at d5. I'm basically trying to make use of this pawn before it goes missing. Yeah. It's backed up here. Knight at e6. I have to sack to continue. Use the pawn first rather than the bishop. Basically, if he takes here and I take here, I just have another bishop in hand, which might be more useful. Because he's moved. I could play bishop at f7. So I can do that. The idea being that getting his king on the file would be quite nice. Because then I can play bishop at e3 to cover my pawn on h6. So all of this initiative really is fighting for some value on this pawn. Now that's not mate because of knight g7. So we'll take that first. Now I've covered this pawn a different way. It's worthwhile taking the rook. This is threat. So knight at f7 would be played if king check. So I've been able to get a queen in hand. That's going to be really valuable. So rather than queen f7, which puts him there, I'm going to use the knight. And what that'll force him to do is take it. And now I'll have two queens hitting his king. It'll be a bit harder for him to defend against that. So a little bit of finesse there with knight at h5, which I should consider a little bit necessary in that attack. Okay, we'll stick with this bishop c5. I find this line quite interesting. I'm going to continue with it. I've played a number of matches against Opelwesen with this opening order, and already here I'm out of book. I'm in unfamiliar territory, and I think that's really interesting. So the question here is if the bishop, should that retreat one way or another? It's probably e7 or b6. You would play bishop d6 if you wanted to stop knight f4, but he's going to hit the queen with knight c3 anyway. And then that just blocks your pawn. It's not really good chess. I'm going to back it off here just because this is already blocked up. Queen out to h4 again, just where it's not getting hit by knights. He might play g3. I don't mind if he does that. There's a few more light square weaknesses to hit if he plays g3. So here, if knight d5, yeah, then that's not unexpected. Just going to defend this pawn and hold on to my bishop. At the right time, I'll just knock this knight back. Look at that with c6. Just preserve this pawn in hand. Can be useful. Alright, now before he gets his D pawn open, I'm actually going to hit his knight. Just to try to get his knight to go to an awkward square. And as luck would have it, it's become an awkward square for me. So now I've got to try and defend this. So, one weird move deserves another. This is like the most un-Crazyhouse game ever. If the knight comes here, it doesn't do anything, I'm just trapping it. He doesn't have a pawn to put on g7 immediately either. So yeah, he's going to play d4, that's his next opening move. And the knight e4 or something. So yeah, it's all slow strategy stuff here. I'm actually going to play knight f6, and if he plays d4, I'm going to play e4. And I'm not castle to get out of dodge. This knight is bad. So he can actually just take this twice. I can't recapture with the queen because of knight at d6. So I'm behind here. Yeah, I don't like this. All of my smooth strategic moves come undone with e4. Now this, he's got an extra pawn in hand, and it's really going to count because I've got these dark square weaknesses. Take here. He's got to look out for bishop at b4. Yeah, I'll make use of this bishop. So I'm going to be safe, but wasn't what I was aiming for out of the opening. Knight at e7's here. I should probably cover the rook. The alternative is a bishop at b5. I don't think that does anything. Yeah, let's just cover the rook. Running short on time again. So, let's try to play it out. I feel like I've got to make something on the king side here, or else it's not really going to end well. Picked off my queen. Doesn't really do anything. I get a bishop which does nothing. Oh yeah, queen d5 is going to hurt. Yeah, this one's pretty reasonable. I'm not going to get away with this. It's going to be knight f5. Alright, I'm glad to see him pick up again. Yeah, I mean, all that was really that knight at d6 trick. And I came undone from that, so I was a little bit loose in the opening. Alright, I've noticed an hour's just gone by, so we've played past the elapsed time. Okay. Now I've actually put pieces around my king, but they're not really helping me progress. I'll take this, play d5, because this knight here is something I don't mind hitting. He can take it, that's alright. And here he probably wants pawn at h3 and capturing this. Yeah, it's worthwhile moving because the bishop hits, and also I'm hitting this pawn on c6. So I'm just asking if he's fine to close off this series. So we'll play last two games, so we'll have one more white and one more black. This game and the next. Alright, knight at g6, is that anything? Not really, not much benefit out of that. And knight at c6 with the queen. Pawn e6, capture. I don't really have a direct line on this king. I'm seeing if I can find a decisive move. Alright, I'll go for his queen this way. I expect him to capture this now. Okay, so I'm going to trade off there. Be ambitious and capture here. I don't mind removing this pawn at some stage. I need to get rid of this queen that's harassing me. So it is a nice square. It's getting into some weaknesses, but also defending the light squares. So now I'm going to shot it getting into here. If he backs up to d8, yeah, my preference would be this. Knight at e6 is a threat. Now I've got some ammunition to get his king with as well. So I'm feeling like white's probably safer here and has more attack potential. Oh, interesting move. Yeah, you might try taking this and capture the queen. If he recaptures, I think pawn at g7 and queen at g5 is going to be nasty. Not recapturing, I would have seen it. I can play bishop at g7. But I'm probably going to take this. I've just got too much safety. It's either knight g4 or knight d7. I'll go this way. You can put something on f3, but there's just so much on it. It's hard for him to make inroads. You take it with the knight. Yeah, I'll play a bit safer here. Just going to limit how he can come in. This knight's more of a defensive piece than an aggressive piece. So Miles moves like that. Just sneaky here, I've got that rook to take. This rook at g8 is going to make. I can attack that weakness. It's not bad having this knight. Let me get in here. nice neat and neat. This queen at e8. Alright. Okay, this will be the last game for this series. I played e6. I actually meant to play e5, but the mouse went there, so let's go for this. So this is quite a common setup against this type of opening. You stack up your pawns this way, really play against that diagonal. Capture and play bishop c5. You can just back off. I'm tempted to play something like knight g4. I don't think it's sound. That hasn't stopped me in the past from playing some moves. And I'm basically saying if you take it, I'm going to play pawn at h3. He can block it with pawn at f3, take, play queen h4. Threatens queen g4. It's actually probably trickier than it looks. There's some nice resources in there. So I'm expecting pawn f3, yeah, take, queen h4. And now I'm threatening queen g4 also pawn h3. So he probably has to play pawn at h3. And then I might be able to gas. So pawn at h3 is not a nice move for me. I think it's necessary for him. So let's evaluate this. He's got no piece that can actually hit my queen immediately. So let's be bold and keep hitting g4. Queen e1 is pawn at f2. But yeah, I'm in a situation here where I've just given up a piece cold. And if I can't justify my attack, then I'm just worse. Well, this looks too dangerous for him. Because now I can get pawn there and take this with check. He might be getting mated. In fact, I'm seeing how it's hard for him not to be mated. So yeah, I don't think h takes g4 is right. Bit of a rubbish attack. So yeah, I'm going to try to have a quick read of the comments. Sorry, I've not kept up, guys. I got drawn into the games. So yeah, I think bishop takes is accurate. If he takes with the queen, I'll recapture first. But this is me. So yeah, I think he's been a bit too generous with the compliments there. Alright, yeah, before I go, I will pay attention to some of the comments. So, let's see. The question is, I wonder if these guys are going to play the match with more time than 3+0. Oh, I'm just streaming. I'm about to wrap it up. Alright, looks like I'm going to have to go. I've been called to close it up. Yeah, it's a bit late at night now. We're getting towards midnight, so I'm going to close the stream there. Sorry I haven't got to all the comments. But look, yeah, this is the new series. As the Combo Trade series. I'm looking forward to continuing this if the feedback's good. So let me know what you think. I hope it's been valuable for the audience and entertaining. Yeah, I'm going to close up the stream there for now. So thanks for your support of the channel, and bye for now.